Colchester's love affair with theatre goes back to the town's Roman origins, when there were only 5 Roman theatres in Britain, 2 of which were in Colchester. The theatre has served the town well, establishing for it an international reputation for creativity and quality productions. But the outdated facilities, which include a converted former vicarage at the rear, are no longer fit for purpose. Now a multi-million-pound initiative to modernise and extend the theatre is underway. Mercury Rising. Driving the ambitious project are Joint Chief Executives Steve Mannix and Tracy Childs.
As you come across the bridge from St Mary's, you come through, a beautiful Roman piece of Balkan Gate, and then you should arrive in Colchester and go, wow, what's that? What's happening inside? The building was built in 1972 and is really showing the signs of its age now. But it was built as a real great growth in theatres, and particularly regional theatres, between 68 and 72. And what we need to do is effectively renew and replace, because when it was originally designed, it had a purpose of a much smaller operation. So we're literally bursting at the seams.
Obviously, the audience are going to have a whole new building to enjoy. So the front of house, when they arrive, they're going to have a new box office, they're going to have newly accessible areas, they're going to have a large open front of house bar with sofas, with comfortable areas to sit. Everything will be easily at their disposal in terms of if they want coffee and cake, if they want drinks in the interval, if they want to go and book a ticket for another show. There's going to be a lot more light coming into the building, a lot more space because we're pushing out slightly. And there will also be, when we get all the landscaping up and running, a really lovely alfresco area where they can go and sit and relax with a drink. So we're hoping also that there will be enough money to do a really good fit out in terms of new lights, new sound equipment, and to start to bring all of the Mercury facilities up to this century. A lot of the kit we've been using is limping its way along, and the people who come and visit work very well within the confines, but they let us know that actually, compared to other theatres, we're falling behind. But also backstage, there will be far more facilities that will mean that the companies, when they arrive in their van and have to offload the set, there is going to be a much easier get-in for the crew bringing the set right through, undercover. They're not going to have to walk 200 yards in the pouring rain to get from the van that has to be parked outside of our brick boundary in through the open courtyard undercover.
In any one year, we'll produce 9 shows of our own. So that is the clue's in the name, made in Colchester, and it is all made in Colchester. So on site, we have workshop facilities to build the sets, wardrobe for costumes. So they're original pieces of work that are produced here. We'll start with some demolition at the back of the site. And then what we have to do, given our proximity to the Roman wall, is carry out some archaeology.
We'll have not 1, but 2 complete rehearsal rooms, one which will have a fully sprung floor. So we can have dance companies in to rehearse. We work quite a lot with the other dance companies, and for when we're doing musicals, our companies, their legs get incredibly tired if they're working on a concrete floor with absolutely no give in it. So to have a properly sprung floor to support them is amazing and essential, to be honest. But to have 2 full rehearsal rooms means we can all be on the same site. We can run in and out of rehearsal rooms with, please try this costume on, does this prop work? Oh, I need to up the budget. We're all just there in the same building. It makes life so much easier than working across 3 different sites. And it means we can see the rehearsals as they're developing. One of the frustrating things at the moment is where we used to just walk 10 minutes around the corner and be able to drop in at sort of 20 to 1 and see 20 minutes of rehearsals before lunchtime and then catch up with the director or the ASM, whatever it was. Now we're in this amazing, glorious building, the Abbey Field Centre, which we adore. It's actually quite a trek from the theatre and from our offices.
In June 2019, we have to close, and we'll only close for just over a year. And we will then go and find an alternative site, and we will continue to produce for part of late 19 into 2020. And then slowly we will take occupation from the back of the site to the front, if that makes any sense. And then we will be handed the new building back in June 2020. And then June, July and August, we will gradually open, do some test events just to test audiences, and the formal opening will be September 2020. So it's quite a quick programme. And hopefully during that period, all of our outreach work in the community will continue, and our whole programme of work will continue for a limited season, but that will be off-site.
Arts Council England, Colchester Borough Council and Essex County Council are backing the project to the tune of £6 million.
Colchester Borough Council and Essex County Council both offered £1 million each. We had discussions with the local enterprise partnership, because in the new building we'll also offer space for new creative businesses. So like an employment hub where if you're a graphic designer or a writer or whatever those skills, we're going to offer space for them in the new building of about 10 to 15 organisations at a time.
A public appeal entitled Mercury Rising was also launched and has been enthusiastically embraced by the theatre-going public.
One gentleman coming in with a cheque for £5,000 because to thank us for all the joy and laughter that we'd given his family over decades. And I kind of nearly burst into tears at that moment. So we've launched that scheme. And then we've approached a range of foundations across the country for their support. Might be local foundations that we can apply to. And so those gifts have been anywhere between 5,000, 200,000. We build a new production block, which is almost a standalone unit or extension. And that will contain our new wardrobe, offices, the rehearsal rooms, the green room for the actors, more dressing rooms and the dance studio.
We want to nurture new businesses, new artists in the local area. So being able to get some of them to come in and give them access to a computer, a phone, an address, actually really helps when you're starting out as an artist with a new business. So we want to be able to nurture and grow those people, and that really feeds into the Mercury staff in terms of a bit of cross-fertilisation and perking all of us up and making us feel like the Mercury is doing something to be really proud of across Colchester and across the county of Essex. So the way I'm viewing the next couple of years as executive producer and joint chief exec at the Mercury is with absolute terror and real excitement. It's a fantastic opportunity. We're all really excited at the Mercury about the possibility of the theatre being fit for purpose for the next 20 years, for the next generation. That's fabulous. I think we're all really looking forward to being in the new space. The bit in the middle, obviously, is a learning curve for all of us. So, yeah, it's going to be a really exciting couple of years.